Hey guys, this is Iamvanguard here with the deck profile. This is my build that I did really well yesterday in the Valentine's Duo Cup. I have teamed up with Domino Paris. We made top four. The top four game was actually really close for me, but unfortunately, there was like that last nice minute where triggers didn't work out for me, which I had like I had 6 cards in the deck and there was like 2 triggers left, so I had a pretty good chance of pulling triggers. At least one was what I really needed, but sometimes it happens. And I did have a pretty good day yesterday, so I can't really complain. So let's go into the deck profile. So obviously the ride line you saw. The grade 3 lineup is pretty simple. I am running the 3 Odiums, 4 Distorted Banes, 4 of the Dragons. I mean, this is like the basic. You don't need to explain why you're running certain things. And then I am running one of the Twincast. Twincast is really good in this deck. Well, I think Twincast is a really amazing card in general, but in this deck it just works really well because you do need that defensive factor. So this does come in clutch. And then I am running 5 Recyclers. I am running 1 Tizcar and 4 Delemias. I know that most people like the Tizcar. I actually end up liking Lamias a little bit more, my opinion, when I actually need to recycle them, because I do run a card that does require to remove the ride line. So try to get the ride line out of the soul and try to soul charge something else for later. Has been more efficient, and she did come in clutch in certain situations where I needed to call an extra unit out. So I think her over Tizcar was just a better situation for me that worked out really well. So that's my lineup. I think you guys can run Tizcars, but I think Tizcar was not necessarily for me, just because I did have like other materials that did soul charge. So I think Lemias did work out well. Speaking of soul charging, I run 3 of the Colossus. This card is really good. Even though like I would like to run the 4th one. I've been having space issues, so most likely I might replace one of the Lamias for these or replace the Tizcar for one, potentially in the future. But as of for now, 3 was a perfect number. I do have flex space, and I am actually using for these. Servant, Servant is a really good card just because that she does get the extra power that you need to push, because she does hit higher than the Colossus. So sometimes that you do need that extra power on the servants just so you can put the extra power. And she comes in clutch when you don't have anything in the soul, especially like during your divine's skill turn, because you would attack with her on the first attack, put another card in the soul, and then do the time skip divine skill, and then use the divine skill to twin drive. So she does come in clutch a lot. So I definitely think that she is needed for the extra power. And then for the grade ones, obviously you are running the 4 average wrestlers. This deck does heavily need this card. I just feel like that if you don't run this card, there's like no way that you can get your Banes. Other than like if you're really lucky like I am. I actually never got to use my average wrestlers because I drew into my Banes yesterday. But I just feel like that was like a very high variance where I just drew into it every time. So but not playing the wrestlers and using the distorted banes was actually really good. Just because you don't minus for the average wrestlers. So I would definitely say if you can draw into it better, but obviously you do run it as an expert insurance. And then so this is the reason why I actually do Lemias versus Tiscars. So I do run 4 of the Versagos. She is probably one of my favorite cards. She comes in clutch in either way. So usually I would use her skill after I use the 2 Lemias or like the 1 Lemia. So I'll have like a starter and a grade 1. I'll remove it from play, and then I'll look at top 7. Sometimes like I don't get the dragons, or I can just get the Banes in my hand. So I do prefer using her skill. And then if you happen to not get her skill and put her back to the hand, you're just going to use Average Wrestler to discard her to get the Bane. So it's kind of like a minus play, like discarding her, but like at the same time you're getting your Bane, which is the main combo piece. So Versaco's really good, and then sometimes like I just use her early to rush. It's kind of like the same mindset when I had the Clockwise Dragon in this deck in the beginning, except that she actually does a little bit more for me, just because I do need to search the Banes, which is really important. So 3 of her was really good for me. I know a lot of people don't like her, but I personally did like her. And then kind of fitting the theme, I do run 3 of the Steam Maiden Arlims, just because she looks nice. I was thinking about to get the foils, but I do like the common versions for now. So these are nice. And then obviously Sanctitude, because you mirror match and other stride decks. There was a lot of stride decks yesterday, actually, surprisingly. Okay, and then triggers are pretty well. I would say not like self-explanatory, because like there's a lot of cards I am running different. I am running 8 crits, 3 front, 4 heals, and then I actually like the Dark States OT. My personal opinion, I actually think this is a very strong OT for Odium if you do hit it early. There is a debate between like red OT, blue OT, and then the Dark State OT, from my opinion. But I feel like that the overall result that I've been having, the Dark States OT just comes in really nicely. Especially because that you're rushing the opponent, so and you're getting extra drive checks. So the more that you hit this, depending on like how long run you're going, this actually comes in clutch. And every time I hit it, it was usually like on my first grade 3 turn or like early in the game. So for me, it's just been clutch. But I would say I do recommend like the red OT if possible for the multi attack. And it is a good finisher. I just don't have a good experience with the red O2 personally. So I just run extra crits because I think more crits better is my opinion. And this is a continuous crit. So swing with Odium with extra crits is always clutch. Alright, so I can kind of go over the ideal board that you really want with this deck, but to be fair, I mean, I think everyone really knows how to play this deck already. To be fair with you. So you have your Odium. Ideally, you want to have like at least like one, or I'm gonna say like if you have 2 Colossus, you're gold. But most likely, like you're gonna have 1 Colossus, and then you want to have one of these. Not like immediately, but like you do want to have it eventually. And then obviously you want to have the dragons. You want to have like some in. You want to have like some in the board. And then want to make sure you get into your divine skill turn. So let's say that you did use Avarice Wrestler here. You don't. I mean, most likely, if you used ideally, let's say you use Avarice Wrestler and then you have another one. So ideally, hopefully, you should have 3 by the turn that you need it for. And then we can have like random counterblast here. Right, so random counterblast, and then you have the Banes right here. So ideally, this is like your divine skill turn. You're gonna, so you call the dragon out, simple play right here, and then you activated the Bane. So this is, let's say you didn't personalize, because that actually happened to me a lot yesterday. Usually you want to swing with the Dragon Column, activate Energy Blast, get rid of their Interceptors. If you have enough energies, you can, get rid of their Interceptor first so they can't block your attacks, or intercept for extra shield. And then ideally you want to go into Odium, activate skill, Soul Blast, put the Dragon here, that'll put your 5th battle, like Twin Drive, I don't know, like something like this, right? So let's say you got, let's say you got something like this, right? Pretty cool. You got the 1 crit, put it here, and then you have an Odium in the soul. You're gonna go ahead and swing with the extra power, put in the soul, extra power goes in. They're usually gonna be at 4 or 5. You get 1 more turn, stand, and then obviously you discarded 2. Let's say one of them is a Bane, the soul. So pretty ideal here. And then you're gonna go activate 2nd counterblast, boom, call, and then put the Bane, put it at 23. So this is like your ideal, like how you want to play the deck. You want to make sure you have a second one saved for your next turn, because Odium's gonna be swinging really low, unless like you rush really heavy with the Banes early, where they're already at 5 damage. But then at this point you can like either just swing, Odium skill something from hand, right? Because you drew into an extra grade 3, so you can just put it into your hand, because you want to have the 2 columns alive for whatever you drive check. So ideally, like, that's just something you want to do. Because, like, you do run front in the deck, so you can go, like, front, I don't know, front and crit on a second drive. Obviously, crit power here, right? So front, and then swing, retire something, and then swing, extra power. So this is like kind of like the ideal setup how you want to like play. So most of my games, I did like draw into my Banes luckily, but there's most of the time that you are gonna have to play your average wrestlers, and you gotta remember like they are not a minus play, they're break even play because you're 1-for-1ing a card, and then obviously you're getting your draw back with the Banes. So it is a 1-for-1 play, but you got to remember it's better to plus than minus, right? Because if you play the Bane from hand, that's a 1-for-1 extra power, and you get to get your skills off. So I would say that's like a +1 on that play versus like the minus play here. So yeah, if you can like, that's why like I think Versago is really good from my opinion, just because you can search out your cards. Yesterday my tournament, I think I'm trying to remember like my matches because me and Domino teamed up, and I think like he actually carried me one more game overall because he did have to carry me in the top 8 game, which it was kind of expected because I knew like most of the events like I'm gonna play like a heavily rush deck and just see how the situation goes. But yeah, I mean, it really turned out well. Game 1, I played against Raziel, I lost, and then Domino lost his Levy matchup as well, because my opponent went first, his opponent went first, so... Game 2, I played against a Krish Rain. I won that matchup because I went first, obviously, but... I did know what Krish Rain did, so, like, as soon as I saw perfect cards, I just kept it in my hand. And then Domino lost his game against Bat. And against Bat, I think I did go first, luckily. No, I did go first. So I was able to damage control him, but because that there in duos there's a 45 time limit, which is really difficult. I had to make sure I grinded him just enough where we don't run into time. And then the opponents, I just showed my opponent like the 2 perfect cards because he had 2 attacks left. So I say, hey, I'm gonna get the next turn. Do you want to concede? And luckily he was cool enough to just go ahead and concede the game because he didn't want to force a double loss, which was very nice of him. So we got game 2. Round 3, I went against my buddy Andy and Bahi. No, actually, sorry. I went against my teammate Leah and Mark from Team Blitz Industry. My opponent Leah was playing Luard, which I'll be honest with you, it was one of those games I just got like everything and I did everything. Like I healed 3 times against her. And then the last time that she banked the 2 pass and I had 3 drive checks, I just banked everything on the Vanguard. It was like a triple crit and a heal. It was a triple crit and a heal. So I healed all 4 games, which was very lucky of me, to be honest. And then Domino won his against Night Rose. Game 4, I did play against Andy and Bahi. My opponent Andy, I tried to rush him and then he did heal off his damage. So we were already in a huge difference and there was no point of stalling time from my opinion. Domino already won his game, so I just told him, hey, you got like 33 minutes left. Go ahead and play this Lord deck and just grind him out. You have enough time, right? Because that's more than a regionals time. So I knew that he can win the matchup. So I gave the match to Domino's to kind of carry me on that game. The final game, I played against Levy. I went first, and I did my best to rush my Levy matchup, and I put him at 5 by the next grade 3 turn I had. So, he had like no cards in hand, so I was able to win that matchup luckily. And then Domino won his Raziel matchup as well. We got into top 8. I played against Lord. I played against Raziel. I had the game, my opponent's 6 damage OT, and he got the Raziel skill off, so... And then I had no cards left, because I just put everything down for that 1 turn to kill him, and he got the 6 damage OT, so it's what it is, right? So, And then I had to ask Domino to carry me again because he won his game against Lord, and then he won the Raziel matchup. It was probably one of the best games of the whole tournament because we had like everyone watching that game so quietly. It was a very good game, and Domino played it really well, and he grinded the deck really well as well. So we did get into top four. Our top four game, Domino won against Varga, but I lost to Harry, and that was the game that I thought was very unfortunate for me. Out of the 6 cards, I just needed, and I activated triple drive, so I was at least hoping to hit. I had like a low chance of hitting the triggers, but because that was gonna drive check 3 out of the 6, I had a very good chance to hit at least one crit, which I didn't, and that's what I really needed to conceal the game, unfortunately. So and that's usually like I would say is it's what it is. And my opponent took the risk to no guard my Odium attack, so he did really well. He was actually playing Harry, which I've actually never expected to lose to a Harry deck with Odium, which was very unfortunate. But my opponent piloted really well. He's a very good player as well. And then Domino had to play the Harry matchup, and Domino just drew bricks and lost the game. So that's our little tour, and that was my deck profile for Odium, Liael Odium. So if you guys like it, make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. I will have a link to Domino Paris's deck profile for his Levy dress deck, so make sure you guys follow it, and then check his channel out and his use his deck list and see if you guys like it. But other than that, that's pretty much it for my deck profile slash tournament report for the duos. Until next time, bye.